I'm Ellen McCauley. I'm at Pray It Off in Syracuse, New York. I'd like to direct people to the back of the food log where I want to thank Michelle M. for this avocado pineapple popsicle recipe. It looks so easy to do. You know, ripe pineapple, avocado, agave, lime, and some coconut shreds, and you can have a delicious treat. Sometimes all we need is something, right? We just need something. I need, right? And why not have something that's healthy? Especially, Norm says, watermelon's coming, our fruits and veggies are tasting better and better every day. And I'd also like to thank Michelle because she always brings in good recipes, of which I'm going to be printing more and more. And she also tries things that I suggest. Like, she'll try the mush oatmeal, she'll try the soup, she'll try things. So many of you are so stuck in ruts where you eat the same old. I mean, it's boring. I have to have Bob come in and slap me every 15 minutes when I'm doing the food logs just to keep me awake. Because they're like, oh, there they go again, same old stuff. I can write your food logs for you. That's how well I know some. So what I'm encouraging you to do, especially when we start to have the fresh fruits and veggies, the farmer's market, the fruit stands, try something different. We've been eating papaya like it was our J-O-B. It's delicious. Delicious. And I can't, if you would have gone to my head and said, Ellen McCauley, when's the last time you had papaya? I don't think I ever did. Unless I was getting some fruity drink on a beach somewhere and they had a papaya on those little toothpicks. I don't think I ever had it. It's delicious, okay? So we need to try different things. So that's what I'm going to say, and I'm going to encourage you to do that. Now, tonight's main topic is a topic that I never talked about before. Maybe 2 weeks ago, someone said to me, you know, Ellen, one of your greatest strengths is also one of your greatest weaknesses. You are such an empath. And I went, oh, okay, all right. And I'm thinking, what the heck is that? I had no idea. I mean, I knew what empathy was, but I had never been called it as a noun. I had never been called an empath. So I went home and I started looking it up and I went, oh my gosh. I am an empath. Oh my gosh, it is my greatest strength and my greatest weakness. And oh my gosh, just about everyone in Pray It Off is an empath. And that's your greatest strength and your greatest weakness. And we're going to talk about it tonight. And the thing is, there's all these different kinds of empaths. And some of them, people care more about nature or animals. I mean, you have people that would walk, if a car got hit and so a person was laying in the road and a dog was running around wild, they'd go after the dog first. I mean it. There are people out there. And I don't mean you, Bonnie. But my mother would cry. She'd like, oh my gosh, did you see the news? What happened to that dog? My mother was an animal empath. I mean, animals. So let's talk about common signs. We're sensitive, loving, big hearts. They're so finely tuned. One of the reasons I have trouble watching the news is I watch the news because I think, like say there's a hurricane. That could be me. That could be us. That could be people I love. Oh my gosh, those poor people. I drive down the street. There's somebody holding up a sign. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what got them to that point? Why are they there? Why are they holding a sign? Why are they dirty? Doesn't anyone love them? What about their mother? I don't go through life going, I'm like, oh, my heart is right here. Sleep. Now, if I were to tell you all about a problem I was having right now, the first thing you'd all try to do is solve it, wouldn't you? Ellen's having a problem. What can I do to help her? Because we're empaths. So let's talk about how we're sponges absorbing the world. And there's a lot of negativity in the world. There's a lot of stress in the world. So while we'll help people, we also are absorbing all this other stuff. And sometimes there's just no time or energy for us. We're too busy helping, loving, worrying, stressing. And then we're like, just give me a pizza. Right? We're just so overwhelmed. And then the emotional empath is we just pick up on the emotions of others. You know, somebody walks into the room. Now, I've gotten a lot better. If someone if say your husband's in a bad mood, so often then you get in a bad mood. Or you start a fight, or what you in a bad mood about? You got nothing, and then all of a sudden you're fighting and you're both in bad moods. Whereas the worst thing you want is when you're in a bad mood, someone go, oh, I'm in a really good mood. I'm sorry you're in a bad mood. And you just want to kind of slap them. So the thing is, often if someone's negative or stressed, you start picking up those vibes and you become a little anxious or a little stressed. Or if your kids call you up and they're saying, oh, guess what happened? The first thing your stomach tightens. Well, what's the matter? Oh my gosh, you know. And it doesn't matter how old they are. It doesn't matter if they're 43 and you're 70. It doesn't matter how old your kids are. And then there's the physical empath that actually takes the pain in their body, where they become so stressed out about the world, their blood pressure goes out, they're so stressed, they have aches and pains, and they go through life. Sometimes I have gone through and I'm like, why are my fists clenched? Why am I so tight? I have to stop myself and just shake it out. Do you ever sense you were tensed up and you realize, oh my gosh, I'm sitting here all tensed up, shake it out. And then you have to do the breathing exercises. And then here's a big one, the intuitive empath. And I am one. I'm telling you, my one daughter brought home a friend in 8th grade, and I met this girl, and I said, that girl is evil. There is something wrong with her. And she knew it. She knew I could see her. And she gave me this smile. It was like almost like Damien, Omen, First Blood. And to this day, she's 40-something, almost 40, and she has caused a lot of problems in our family. And I knew it. I knew it in 8th grade. And there's this person at work, when I met her, I'm like, ooh. I could feel it. I could. And people know I see them. That's why the only people that stay and pray it off are people that I love and that are awesome, because anybody else knows I see them and they're like, uh-oh, she sees what a jerk I am. I'm getting out of here. We need to, and that's very stressful. It's very stressful to be an intuitive, because you're like, oh, and it doesn't mean that you're a know-it-all or whatever. It just means that, and I try to help people who I feel have those tendencies, and it doesn't always work because some people don't want to be helped. They don't want your help. Then there's the plant empath. And anybody who's in the garden club, or perhaps the president of the garden club, I won't name any names out there, but maybe they're plant empaths, where they talk to their plants and their plants talk to them. I just remodeled my office at home, and I have this whole side of the office is plants, and Vince is like, our son came home and he said, why do these plants look so great? They look so beautiful. I said, because I spent a lot of time. I repotted them. I loved them. I cut them back a little. I put them in there. And I really spent so much time loving them, and they're rewarding me by looking beautiful. Plants, house plants are, even outdoor plants, you get a lot of rewards from them. And then there's a lot of people who are deeply connected to the earth. And they have a lot of trouble with global warming. I can see where the coral reefs are being destroyed, and I actually tense up. I actually feel like I'm going to pass out. It upsets me so much that the polar ice caps are melting. And what kind of a future will our grandchildren and their grandchildren have? And when you're such an empath that you watch the news and you personalize it, or you hear people's pain and you personalize it, it can be extremely stressful. And one time I was at counseling, and I said to the counselor that I care too much about too many things, but I was afraid not to stop caring about some things, because then I wouldn't be who I was. And she said to me, and I never forgot this, Ellen, you can cut back on all this caring and personalize it and still be you. Personalizing everything in the world isn't helping the world. Me personalize it isn't helping it. I need to pick something I can work on, and there's where my help can be. And here's some traits that empathetic people share. They don't always take care of themselves because they're so busy taking care of everyone else. Many of them are introverts because they just can't deal with it all. So even Jesus said, I have to go away and pray for a while. It got to be too much. He would go away and pray. So there are many people who just say, I can't deal with all the people and all this stuff in the world, so I'm just going to stay home. Emily Dickinson never left her house because she felt too much. She was the quintessential empath. She couldn't go out into the world because she just became so introverted because she cared too much about too many things. Too sensitive. You know how many people in my life, my mother was big, Ellen, you're going to have to toughen up. You're going to have to learn to toughen up. And many people look at me and they think, she's pretty tough. I'm not. I am not tough. I wear my heart on my sleeve. If someone's mean to me, I cry over it. I say to Bob, did you see that? Did you see that? Weren't they mean to me? Whatever. And he's like, not really, Ellen. You know? And the thing is, we read into it. Like, oh, they didn't say hi. I know someone she's got a sister. She'll never watch the blog. And her husband was mowing the lawn. And the sister went, hi. But the husband didn't say hi because he was mowing the lawn, didn't hear her. She hasn't spoken to him in 20 years. Oh. Because he didn't say hi. Then he got mad because she was mad that he couldn't hear her when she's on the lawnmower. You see how these things happen? And you can't let that go on. Also, when you absorb so many other people's emotions, it's exhausting. Especially mothers. Mothers get like this. Because your kids got school and sports and they're coming home and they didn't make the team, and then this one doesn't have a date, and then this one you're worried about, they're on their phone too much. And there's so many things that parents need to worry about now that we didn't even have to worry about with our kids. And so you are just so busy. And also, many people who are empaths have trouble with relationships because they just have trouble believing that they'll have the time or the energy for a relationship. Thank God I'm not that bad. Also, they do need alone time. And this is where they recharge, and even Jesus recharged. If we don't, we will plummet. If we do not take care of ourselves, this whole session was on loving ourselves and taking care of ourselves. And also, so many empaths have people who are like energy vampires. I've had friends over the years that have tried to suck me dry. They'll call you on the phone and they'll just go, do. Like I have this one friend that they'll talk and all I have to do is every once in a while go, uh-huh. Oh. Well, I know. And then I'll try to talk and they won't let me. And then I go back to, uh-huh. Oh, anybody? Have anybody? Yeah. Oh, you're all out there going like, yeah. And if it's you, look out. Okay, you don't be the one that's doing that. Also, narcissists, they just feed on empaths. Oh, I asked her to take me to the store and help me get my groceries. I'm going to ask her again and again and again. And the next thing you know, helping your neighbor get her groceries becomes your Monday job. And you really didn't need a Monday job. So we have to decide as Catholic Christians, wonderful praying offers, how much is too much? How can I still be a good Christian and take care of myself? So what happens so often is that we take on these feelings that we're not good people because we can't be all things to everyone else, and then we gain weight. And let's talk about gaining weight now.